Dolphins fans, happy Monday. Will Scott here with you on Dolphins Today. And look, y'all are going to be asking about this in the comments section. So I might as well address the elephant in the room. Get back home here in Dallas after a little Easter trip. Get out of my car, and my neighbor's chasing his dog around, trying to corral his dog. And look, I was trying to be a nice guy, help my neighbor out. The dog ends up biting me. So I spend my Easter dinner in the emergency room because the dog did not have any shots. He just adopted the dog over the weekend. So that was about the size of the dog. It was a small dog. Luckily, the bite itself was not terrible, but I did have to get some shots to make sure that, I didn't get anything from this dog. So go ahead and spam rough down in the comments section below. And subscribe because, look, I was in the ER last night. I'm here today bringing you Dolphins content. Nothing is going to stop us here at Chat Sports from bringing you all the content you need. So please subscribe and hit that big red sub button if you haven't already. So let's talk about some potential draft targets for the Miami Dolphins. We are fast approaching the NFL draft. The Dolphins only have 4 draft picks, but they're still doing their due diligence, meeting with some prospects, including LSU running back Ty Davis-Price, a projected 5th to 6th round pick. I mean, look, I'm an LSU fan. I grew up an LSU fan. I've watched pretty much every snap of this guy's career, and I'm just not crazy about him. Inconsistent. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, like the Florida game, he rushed for over 250 yards. He's capable of doing that, but some games he would go for 30 or 40 yards. He's just inconsistent, not much of a pass catcher either. He did have a pretty good season last year for LSU, rushing for over 1,000 yards. What stands out from this is his average yards per carry, 4.8, which is pretty solid. So by far his best season at LSU in his junior year. I thought he needed another year with LSU. I was surprised that he decided to enter the NFL draft. I think another year at LSU would have been really good for him. But Miami, as we've seen, as we've heard, still open to adding another running back in this year's class. And they met with Ty Davis-Price last week, reports Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald. Be sure to like this video if you want more Miami Dolphins draft content. We're going to keep you posted. We're going to break down every single prospect the Dolphins have met with. So be sure to like this video if you want more Dolphins draft content. But like I said, I'm not high on Ty Davis-Price at all. I mean, look, if he falls to round 7, sure. Take a swing on him at that point. But you would be really reaching on him, in my opinion, if you take him in the 4th round. In Miami, keep in mind, does not have a 5th round pick or a 6th round pick in this year's draft. So they're going to have a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick. They're going to have to wait until the 7th round to pick again. So look, if he's there in round 7, I'm all for it. He's not worth a 4th round pick. But do you think he is? Let me know down in the comments section. Type Y if you want to select Ty Davis-Price out of LSU, or type your in for no. Normally, I'm really high on LSU guys. I mean, they produce more NFL talent than any other school. I'm going to type my in for no. I don't want Ty Davis-Price in Miami. But here are some running backs that I do want in Miami, who I do think are going to be worth of a pick. But before we get to those names, let me tell you about our friends over at BetUS. And if you're looking to bet some NBA playoff games, I know a lot of y'all, not a lot of your, I know a lot of Dolphins fans, also Heat fans. So be sure to go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo Dolphins125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. So what that means is if you put $100 in, BetUS is going to give you $125 free cash to bet with. So that is a great deal that our friends at BetUS are bringing you. And you can bet on the next Heat playoff game. They're a 7.5-point favorite against the Atlanta Hawks. You know what? The Hawks and Trae Young, all bark and no bite. Plenty of dog jokes coming from us at Chat Sports this week. So I'm going to go ahead and put my money on the Miami Heat, -7.5 against the Atlanta Hawks. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Type if you think the Heat are going to win. I want to see the comments spammed with Heat. But also you can bet the total as well, which right now is at 217.5. Again, chatsports.com/bet. Here are some potential running back draft targets for the Dolphins, and we'll start with James Cook, who, as we discussed last week, was mocked to the Dolphins in ESPN's 7-round mock draft. He's a Miami guy, went to Central High School his first 3 years of high school, and then Northwestern High School his senior year. He led Georgia in all-purpose yards last year. But here's the thing. The Dolphins signed Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds in free agency. So is it still worth bringing in a running back, drafting one in the 3rd round? Because when you look at James Cook numbers, he is definitely going to be, I think, a pretty high pick. I don't know if he's going to fall to the 3rd round. If he does, he might be the best player on the board. We've discussed this on the show. You know, you can go best player on the board. You can go team need. Running back, at least I think, after bringing in Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, not a huge team need for Miami, but James Cook is a heck of a player. As well as Brian Robinson Jr. out of Alabama. I mean, I got a chance to, watch this guy a decent amount, as I'm sure a lot of you did as well, playing for the Crimson Tide. And in the Cotton Bowl, this guy won me over. I mean, he just exploded in that first playoff game, leading Alabama to the national championship game. I really like Brian Robertson. But who had the better season out of the two? Probably Tyler Beatty out of Mizzou, who rushed for over 1,600 yards this season. That was 4th amongst all NCAA running backs. So he's someone that you're probably going to have to take in the 3rd or 4th round. No shot he falls to round 7, but who might fall to round 7, Sincere McCormick out of UTSA, who really put together a marvelous career with the Roadrunners, pretty much breaking every single school record at the running back position. Finished his career with back-to-back 1,400-yard seasons. 2-time second-team All-American as well. Now, most of the mock drafts I'm seeing, he's going in the 6th round, maybe even the 5th round, but there's a chance when Miami picks early in the 7th round, he'll still be on the board. And if he is, I think he could be the steal of this entire NFL draft. And a lot of people are saying, well, he ran a 4.6 at the combine. Oh, he's only 5'9", he's undersized. I don't care. Look at this guy's numbers. The numbers do not lie. He is an unbelievable football player, a dynamic playmaker, hard to catch when he gets into open space. He is absolutely worth taking in the 7th round. And I think if he gets picked in the 7th round, not only is he going to make the team for Miami, he's going to get significant playing time right away in Mike McDaniel's system. Kennedy Brooks, someone else who might be on the board in round 7. In fact, he may go undrafted. So we've discussed with the Dolphins only having 4 picks in this year's draft, they're probably going to look to sign more undrafted free agents. Kennedy Brooks, a potential undrafted free agent that Miami will sign. Let me know who's your favorite running back in the NFL draft. I'm going with Sincere McCormick. I really like what I saw from him at UTSA the last couple seasons, and he was involved in a culture change at UTSA, going from one of the worst teams in the country to a top 25 team last season. Someone else that the Dolphins are looking at, Logan Hall out of Houston. This was in a Barry Jackson article over the weekend. Per a Cougar source, Miami sent an assistant coach and assistant general manager, Marvin Allen, to watch Logan Hall at his pro day. They also spent an hour meeting with Hall the night before, and I was really surprised to hear that the Dolphins are taking so much time to look at Hall, because the chances of him being on the board at pick 102, I mean, there's just no chance. I just don't see that happening. So the Dolphins would have to trade up to get Logan Hall, who's one of the best edge rushers in this entire draft. He is a projected second-round pick, probably going early in the second round. I'd be surprised if he's a first-round pick, but maybe not shocked with the talent that this guy has. He had an unbelievable season at Houston last year. 6.5 sacks, only 1.5 sack his first 3 years. So he really finished his Houston career strong. But Miami, I think, would have to trade up to get him. No way Logan Hall falls all the way to Miami in round 3. But these guys might. We'll start with John Ridgway out of Arkansas. I really like this guy. He should be on the board in round 3. I think Neil Farrell has a really good chance to be on the board as well out of LSU. And why I like Farrell is because he's put together several good seasons. A couple prospects we've talked about have only had maybe 1 or 2 good years. You look at that 2019 LSU team that won the national championship, arguably the greatest college football team of all time. He was a massive contributor on that defense. He's been good for a long time, as well as Josh Paschal, who's a 2-time All-SEC team member. What I like about Paschal, too, is his leadership. I mean, he was really developed a reputation of being a leader on that Kentucky team, a Kentucky team that was extremely good defensively last season. In fact, he was the first Kentucky player to be voted team captain 3 consecutive years. 15 tackles for loss last season, 5 sacks. He's one heck of a football player, and I don't think he has he's probably not going to be on the board at 102, but there's a chance. And if he is, would you draft him? Type D for draft or type P for pass in the comments. Let me know what you think. I know that the Dolphins really don't need an edge rusher, or at least need one badly. They obviously need a center more, need a little bit more offensive line help. But if Josh Paschal's on the board at pick 102, I think I'm typing my D for draft. Fast forwarding to some guys that might be on the boards in later rounds for the Dolphins to take. Matthew Butler out of Tennessee certainly could be an option. You'd probably have to spend your 4th-round pick on him. I don't think he's falling to round 7. Zachary Carter, though, likely falling to round 7. I don't think he's going to go undrafted. Probably not a undrafted free agent target for Miami. But the Dolphins do have 2 picks in round 7. They might use one of them on Zachary Carter, edge rusher out of Florida. Be sure to hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what Dolphins draft prospects you like the most. You can follow me at WillScott44. We'll talk to you soon, Dolphins fans. This has been Dolphins Today, and your host, Will Scott. As always, go Fins.